8. Now, would you just let anyone service or repair your car? A survey of 2,000 motorists by the Institute of the Motor Industry reveals considerable confusion about whether car mechanics are qualified to do the job. The study shows that in Northamptonshire, 41% of those surveyed would never let anyone work on their car who wasn't licensed to do so, yet there are no current licensing requirements. An overwhelming majority, 98%, said that they wouldn't let anyone work on their car who didn't have the acceptable level of skill, yet only 12% of people in Northamptonshire admitted to checking if this was the case. BBC Radio Northampton reporter Amy Woodfield has been finding out how some people in Northampton choose their mechanic.
Are you a driver? Do you have a car?
Yes.
And if your car breaks or you need to have it repaired, are you fussed about where you take it?
Yeah, a lot of garages charge different prices. A lot of places I go to are a lot cheaper, yeah.
So is price the main thing, or is it trust?
Well, I used to be a mechanic, so I know what prices cost and how much jobs cost, so I know where to go to sort of places to get the right cost and the right prices.
Do you think there are a lot of companies out there taking advantage of people?
I'd say a lot of it, yeah, there's a lot. Especially against women, I find.
So should people perhaps be doing their research before they go?
I think they should, yeah. Garages can charge extensive prices, and they can make out there's lots of things wrong with your car when there's not. And as a mechanic, I know all the problems with cars, so I used to repair my own cars, but now I'll take it to a garage because I can't do them on the road.
I like to know them and trust them.
So do you do perhaps some research beforehand?
I've been using the same garage now for 20 years, and they know my car very well, and I know them very well.
So trust is an important thing?
It's crucial.
I'll take it to somebody I know anyway, so specialist.
And why is that?
Because I prefer to somebody I know that I've known for years to look after it for me.
Okay,
All
so
right.
someone who you trust is important working on your car?
Absolutely. There's too many cowboys.
Do you have a car? Are you a driver?
Yes, I do, but it's a joint car with my husband.
Right, so if anything goes wrong with your car or if you need to have it repaired, are you fussed about which garage you take it to?
I normally take it to my local garage, which is literally 500 yards away.
And why is that?
Because they're good, they're honest, and yeah, we've been going there for years.
And is that important, the trust factor, when it comes to garages?
Oh gosh, yes, because you don't know what's wrong with your car, so you do have to trust people, and I trust them.
Well, as I say, this issue's been raised by the Institute of the Motor Industry. I've been talking to its chief executive, Steve Nash, who first told me what the Institute did.
The Institute of the Motor Industry is the professional body for the motor industry. So our job is to raise professional standards and to promote professional standards across the industry.
And you're concerned, are you, that not enough car mechanics are properly licensed, properly qualified?
Yes, in a nutshell. There are a great many people out there working on cars. And as far as the general public are concerned, many of them believe that there's a higher degree of qualification out there than there in truth is. So yes, we're trying to make a differentiation between those people who are properly trained and properly qualified and those people who aren't.
So there's nothing to stop anybody just setting up as a car mechanic?
That's absolutely right. It's an unregulated sector, and I don't want to frighten people here, but the thing is, most people choose their garage because it's local and it's convenient, and I think we can all understand that. But a 2-minute check could help them find out whether or not the person working on their car actually is competent to be doing so, and they can either do that by we've created a professional register of people who are properly currently competent, and I think that term is quite important. It means that somebody has not just got a qualification they got 25 years ago and then just decided to start working on cars again, because as we can all appreciate, cars are incredibly sophisticated things, and unless you've continued to work on them over time, you just wouldn't be up to speed, But if they wanted to check on our professional register, they can go to www.imiregister.org.uk, and that's a publicly searchable database. They just put in their postcode and it'll tell them where the qualified people are, where they work in their particular area. And if there isn't somebody on the register, because it's not yet an exhaustive list, just ask the person working on the car to let you see their qualifications. It's not an unreasonable thing to ask, and check that they both exist and they're up to date. It's not just cars either. This applies to the entire sector. So this is trucks as well, which is even more concerning, isn't it?
It is indeed. If there are big vehicles out there trundling down the roads that aren't properly maintained by qualified people. I mean, just to be absolutely clear about this, is this the IMI touting for business? I mean, if I was a mechanic, would I have to pay you to be on your register?
No, I mean, our sector is very large, but I mean, it spends about £100 million a year on training people, so there are a lot of incredibly well trained people out there. The register just shows who those people are, so there's no price to go onto the register other than to be currently properly qualified and to maintain your skills, because the vast majority of people on the register at the moment hold an accreditation, which is something that we developed on behalf of the industry back in 2006, that like any other accreditation, it's time limited and people have to do things to maintain it. That means keeping up to date with current technology. This was something we did because the government were talking about licensing back then, but have done nothing about it since. And we've put the framework in place, and we believe it's time, to really accelerate this process, to put some legislation behind it.
So it's up to the government, is it, to do something to create a licensing environment?
Yes, I mean, the official view of government, and I use the plural because it's not just the current government, it's previous government and other governments before that who basically sort of say, we don't want to legislate because we don't believe in red tape. Well, they believed in red tape when they legislated on people working on gas boilers, because people were dying of carbon monoxide poisoning, weren't they? To put things literally, and actually, some statistics from Brake, the road safety charity, show that these are from 2011, but they show just over 2,000 crashes. There were just over 2,000 crashes in that year caused by inadequate maintenance on cars. 52 of which resulted in death. So it's a proper issue. This is, you can't replace a plug at home anymore. You're supposed to get a properly licensed technician to do that, electrician to do that. But yet, the same thing doesn't apply to somebody working on a potentially lethal piece of equipment like a car.
Steve Nash, Chief Executive of the Institute of the Motor Industry. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Should all car mechanics be licensed? They may be qualified, they may be competent, but should they be licensed so that you can trust them to do the right job on your car, whether they're repairing it or servicing it?